What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are doing safe and I hope you guys are staying healthy during this pandemic. Welcome back to my 24 reviews. I'm reviewing every season of 24 from season 1 all the way to Live Another Day. I will not be reviewing Legacy because I don't officially count that as 24 because they never really finished it and it was canceled. So today I am finally going to be talking about one of my favorite parts of 24, the one that I think revitalized season 6 and the one that was a big comeback to what season 6 did not give us, and that is 24 Redemption. This was a 2-hour movie that came out about a year after 24 season 6. This takes place about 46 months after season 6. Jack Bauer is now working as a missionary in Africa, and he now knows that there is a new threat about to come around, and he's basically on the run because all he has is his freedom, and the U.S. government wants him to answer for his crimes. So now what they're doing is that they want him to come by and they want him to answer some questions about his activity over the previous 6 seasons. And Jack Bauer doesn't want to do that. He only has his freedom left, so he wants to stay in Africa or he wants to stay on the run. So what happens is when Jack is now forced to leave the one place that he feels safe at, the children that he's watching over, because you remember he works at a missionary, so there's a bunch of African children there, and he realizes that there's a dangerous militia happening, and there is children being kidnapped by this militia. So now Jack Bauer has to protect the children against this militia and get them out of Africa as soon as possible. That's the plot line for 24 Redemption, and I gotta say, this movie is incredible. I would honestly say this is in my top 5 for 24 best seasons. Even though this is the 2-hour movie, I still consider it a separate 24 gem because I do think this is great. There's not a single season of 24 I don't like. Obviously, I know I gave season 6 a C+ rating. If you guys watched my last review, you know how I feel about that season. But you know that I don't hate a single season. Everything I like about 24. And 24 Redemption is definitely in my top 5. Top 5, no doubt. I would say that Kiefer Sutherland really shines as Jack Bauer, and that's one thing that this movie is very well known for showing a more human side to Jack Bauer. If you guys look up the trivia for this movie, you know that Jack Bauer has a more human side. You don't see him torturing people. You don't see him shooting everybody that comes in sight. So we know that Jack Bauer we know that from the previous 6 seasons, he puts other people before himself all the time. He'll do whatever it takes to protect himself as well as other people. And that was one thing that they actually expanded more within the 2 hours that this movie can give us. And that's why I really think this movie is more underrated than I think most people give it. A lot of people can say this movie is very forgettable, and it kind of is, but I honestly find it more enjoyable than what people say it is, and I think that it deserves way more attention than what people have given it since its release. I will say that Robert Carlyle in this movie, he's a great actor, and I do love him in this movie. He is a great addition. He was a good sidekick for Jack Bauer, and I loved him. I thought he was great. Also, Jon Voight's in this movie. He plays the new bad guy, and you do see him again in season 7, which I will talk about season 7 later on. And I do think that that he was a good guest star in this movie, but you only see him for a couple of minutes. That's all I'm going to say. You only see him for a few minutes at a time in this movie, so that was kind of disappointing. But you do get more of him in season 7, thank God. What else is there to talk about? I would say the action scenes are very well done. The story, if this feels like a completely original story. If you heard of 24 and you start off with this one might actually get you into the whole show. Even though this takes place after season 6, it could still be watched on its own. That's what I think also works about this movie. So I will say that the action works very well. Kiefer Sutherland as Jack Bauer is fantastic. The side characters are very well helmed too. And there's a side story in this movie that I feel like kind of drags a little bit, and I don't think is too necessary for the movie, although I can also see why it's there. We have the first lady president after what happened in season 6. We now know there's a new president coming around, the first female president, President Taylor, and this is her first. She's about to make the oath that she will swear into office and make her speech. And there's some side controversy going on when she's not around in DC that I felt kind of dragged a little bit, although, you know, you don't get too much of that because people know that you want to stick with Jack Bauer and you want to see more of him, so it doesn't drag too much, but I will say it kind of drags the movie a little bit, and the movie could have worked without it, but I'm honestly okay with what they gave us. So in the long run, I love 24 Redemption. I honestly think you guys need to give this movie more credit than what it deserves. I'm going to give 24 Redemption an A-. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to my next review, which is for Phone Booth, another Kiefer Sutherland movie that I really enjoy, and I will see you guys later.